Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Is anybody there?
I do primarily call myself a composer and performer, but I guess more accurately, I'm a maker. I think more recently, I'm just trying to embrace all sorts of media and actually all sorts of ways of working. It tends to be pretty performative, the stuff I do. I still occasionally play guitar. I'm in like a composer performer group called Current Resonance, and we're based in Denmark. And we often kind of switch between vocal performance or like percussion, live electronics, but usually there will be some sort of physical theatre. I've always been more interested in both what a sound symbolizes and also what kind of person is making the sound than the sound itself. So if I can really get an insight into like the motivation of that musician who is going to make the sound on stage, then that's a pretty good place to start, I think. Generally, the thing that ties everything that I do together is this focus on collecting things from the everyday or things that kind of seem quite ordinary on the surface. And then throughout the process of making my work, I try to find something kind of musical or bizarre maybe, or remarkable that's buried under the surface of that mundanity or ordinariness. One of those pieces that will be played is called Control Y.
Space, 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 space.
Please try again.
Log in using your password.
I'm sorry. It looks like that's incorrect.
I don't recognize the password.
Every time they hit a key on the keyboard, it will trigger a tiny fraction of their voice. And basically, the kind of faster you type, the more it sounds like normal speech. So you end up with this kind of stop motion effect. And I really like this analog with how that constructs meaning, actually. Like, if you don't have fluency when you type, then there's no kind of semantic fluency that comes out, and the meaning is completely scattered. So I really like this, this inherent link between the way the music is performed and then the concept. So in this case, it's like building up fluency in order to communicate. Calls to this number are being diverted.
My name is Andreas, and I'm calling from a company called Resounding Six. No. That's fine. I can hang on.
There's a few different aspects to this piece. One of them is just hold music, the kind of phenomenon of hold music, ringing someone up, getting stuck, and having to listen to music. So it's kind of like music as a form of psychological abuse, or as a kind of filler. And it's like everything that we as artists and musicians kind of think music should be for. It's kind of an antithesis to that. I had this idea that it would be cool to not try and recreate the aesthetics one-to-one of hold music that I heard, but to try and recreate the feeling of listening and the feeling of waiting through my music. So often the music in the piece is like quite purgatorial. You feel like you're stuck in a loop. It's got familiar kind of harmonic movement, but usually with weird like deviations, microtonal deviations. So it feels kind of woozy often. You kind of don't ever get this payoff. Like you feel like you're headed towards some sort of conclusion, and then it gets cut in really odd places and then just goes right back to the beginning.
Someone will be with you shortly. We're experiencing busier lines than usual, and we're doing...
While quite a lot of my pieces have quite specific conceptual starting points, there's still enough space for like anyone to come into the room and find some interpretive, room for themselves, to find something in it and to see some of themselves in it. So in that sense, I would like it to be open enough so anyone can come in. But I think also just people who are really curious and don't mind being pushed out of their comfort zone. I think maybe like-minded people who are a little bit frustrated with the kind of boxed in, you have to sit still and quietly vibe of contemporary music concerts sometimes. Like, if there's some other people there who maybe are missing a little bit of interaction or the way that you are together as an audience in different art forms, they might be a good audience for my stuff.